Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend Dion from Dion Talk. How you doing, buddy?
Howdy, doing great. Ready for round one.
Absolutely, man. So I don't know if you caught my live stream. I did just a stream of consciousness this morning at 7 a.m., giving a shout out to the guys at Valuetainment. They have an awesome podcast that I catch on occasion. Specifically, this one is about guys warning, hey, bad times ahead, but, take advantage of it, which is really what I've been trying to do on this channel. But really what they did is they showed one image that I'm like, that's the image. And it was the image of a forest fire, kind of the aftermath, like the immediate aftermath. And then like 5 years later, that's what I'm trying to get people prepared for. We are going through what I'm going to call an economic forest fire, and it is going to rage. It is going to hurt a lot of people. If you are not prepared or get out of the way, it is going to hurt. But then once it's out, it looks ugly and smoky and dead and blah, blah, blah. But if you look ahead, the people that take action and are ready and thrive are going to have an amazing opportunity. So I'll let you riff on that. And I actually went and found the picture, so we'll look at it after. But what do you think of an economic forest fire?
Well, I think planning for the chaos that's coming is the way to make it look better. And some people might not like what I'm about to say, but one of my first driving jobs as a truck driver after the military was driving a logging truck. And I had some friends say, well, you live in Washington. You moved here for the beautiful trees. Why would you work in the industry that's taking the trees down? Which means people don't understand how trees work.
Yeah, exactly.
There are more trees in Washington now than there was 50 years ago, because they did planned strategic logging that stopped a forest fire from wiping everything out.
Yeah.
You would put in brakes, you would have new growth, you would have all of these things and laws that came in where if you take out trees, you have to plant too, things like that. Where planning for the chaos is how it gets better in the future. So we have more trees now. It's the same way with economics. When you see chaos coming, if you make a plan and you prepare for it, your future will look better.
I love that. I just got to bring up this image because I actually stopped the Valuetainment recording and looked at this because it did a great job. Oh, good. I have it up right. So look at that technology. So this is really what I think is going to happen. Right now, the tender is on fire. I think we're going to have at least 2 years of a raging economic fire that will ultimately end at some point. Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? Is it 18 months? I don't know. My crystal ball is as broken as yours, but it is going to look ugly. I like the picture on the left. So get out of the way. Protect yourself. I refied all my debt to 30-year fixed. We got some dry powder. I mean, all the things that we've been talking about for a year now, because I am going to step in after the fire, after the aftermath, and it's going to look beautiful. As is the picture on the right. This is I think that was the best imagery of what I've been trying to communicate right here in these two pictures.
I was actually thinking of making a video on my channel this week. I'm not. And it was going to say, Michael Zuber was right. And I don't want to make the video because it makes it sound like that's the one time I think you've been right?
Yeah.
You're right so many times it wouldn't make sense. But in this one instance, you've been calling for a crash in transactions for a year.
Yep.
Pretty close to.
Pretty close, yeah.
But we've been arguing against the people calling for a crash since 2013.
Forever. Yeah, forever.
Right? Saying, housing prices are above 2008. This is unsustainable. It has to crash. Wait for the correction. Lose out on all your money, all your cash flow and your appreciation. So we get people in the comments now that say, how can you say you're calling for a crash when for years you've been saying there isn't a crash coming? We're saying the same thing.
Absolutely.
With the actual crash in transactions that we're in now, here's what we're doing differently.
Exactly.
You've been calling for this crash. You've been right, saying this is the crash that's coming. And so I'm hoping more people got ready to do exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I would say, go ahead and do the video. I mean, I think first off, it'll get reactions, which, as you've taught me, even if they're negative, which I get a bunch of negative transactions because everybody wants the crash to be like last time on prices. It's not. It's on transactions. The Fed broke housing. The low end is dead. The move up buyer is at best cut in half. It's going to be noisy, but some sellers have to sell. I have created a situation where I and my followers can step out of the way and we can take action, as in the picture on the right. We may do pre-foreclosures. We may do seller financing. We may do 50-40-10s. We may buy from somebody who needs to cash out for whatever reason. I'm writing 2 offers. cash in terms. I'm not doing anything on first day listings. I have fundamentally changed my business because the crash is happening right now. The fire is raging. I reported yesterday, transactions down 11% in a month. Purchase money mortgages this morning down 21%. The crash is happening right now. I am ready. People who follow me are ready. And we're going to be the picture on the right very, very soon.
Well, ready and excited. Like
I hope so.
This next year is the most excited I've been as far as investing goes for the last 10 years. And I'll probably butcher this analogy, but to relate it to this image, on the left, where you see the fire, for the last 2 years before the fire came, we as investors had the fear of missing out. We wanted to acquire assets and then protect them from the fire that was coming. So speed was our best friend. Now, on the other side, where we see the new growth happening, patience is the virtue. Waiting for what and watching days on market as days on market increase beyond what was normal in whatever local market you're in. When you see those days on market increase, that's going to be your first time where it's actually easier to find a motivated seller. You start making the offer or the two offers like you're talking about. The person who doesn't have to sell is either going to ignore you, counter, or take their listing down eventually. But that person that has to sell will counter with something closer to what makes sense, or actually accept your offer at the numbers that make sense to you. And that's something we haven't seen in years.
Yeah, I am fairly certain, because we talk almost every week, and I know what you're doing. I think the deals that you get in the next 12 to maybe 16 months will be better than anything you've done. And you will likely use less of your money, right? Because you've been very much 20%, 25% down. I suspect with you writing two offers and different price points, you're going to, I mean, you don't have to, but I'm going to guess you're going to have the opportunity to add more with less down because you're doing the work correctly.
Like I said, excited.
So again, folks, I think let me be very clear. I love that picture. The picture on the left, kind of the aftermath. We're not there. The fire has started. We've gone from I don't know how fires work, but I'm guessing they start in the low brush. The big trees are on fire now. It is going to rage for a while. We haven't cleared our economy for 14 years. The Fed has tried to delay recessions. This is very much like the California wildfire we had. I think it was last year, might've been the year before. The forestry or whoever didn't clean, whatever it was the worst, on record. That's what we're about to go through. Lots of people are going to get hurt. The last 2 years, asset prices were crazy. That includes multifamily. You've heard me rage against multifamily, cap rates under 3, rent expectations, cost. I mean, it's just, there are lots of assets that don't have 30-year debt. There's lots of assets bought on hopium or appreciation. There's a lot of meme stocks and NFTs and crypto frauds. And a lot of people are going to get burned. People that follow us, hopefully we've scared them to take action. But most importantly, I am adding new skills right now so I can be better. I can have the new growth. I can have more opportunities than just what I did last time. Raise $3 million in private money, buy distressed houses. That's all I did last time. And it was amazing. And I will do it again, but I want to do more. There are more ways to profit from an economic forest fire. I am excited. I just added bonus content because when I learn, I want my students to learn. Just added ties pre-foreclosure stuff a week ago, and more is coming, man. I'm so excited because for 9 months we've been talking about this, and the crash isn't coming. It is here. 11% in a month here, 21% in mortgages here. And these numbers are going to get worse, which mean for me, better, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. And what I really like is, this is a little teaser for video number 2 today, but just like the forest fire, when fire control doesn't clear underbrush, create fire breaks, do strategic logging, the fire's worse. So if people haven't prepared for what we've been saying is coming, this crash in transactions changes how we invest. There's 2 ways that this could go, and we're going to talk about that in video 2 today.
Awesome. Before we do, Dion, where can people find you?
Right here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom. I do my live streams Tuesday afternoons starting at 4 p.m. Pacific.
Awesome. And how long did you go yesterday?
3 hours, 4 minutes.
I couldn't do it.
I had good questions. As long as the good questions come in, I'll stay.
Awesome.
So, except for next week.
There you go.